Hey, what's up? XD here from Bedroom Studio Corner. Welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can start your track using a melody. I know in my previous videos, I've been starting tracks using drums and keys, but this time I'm going to show you a different way that will help you in getting different ideas and structuring your songs much more different by using melodies to start your track and building from those melodies into something major and something big. So if you check it out here, I'm going to load something simple like FL keys. Let me load. Yeah, these keys will be fine. Let me load up 120 on the BPM. So what I like about FL20 is that it can highlight your scale as you are putting in notes and tell you what scale you're playing in. So for now, I don't know what scale I'm going to be playing in, so I'm just going to put in a nice melody that I'm going to make, a simple one, and then you'll see how I take it from there into like a whole song. I'll just start maybe here. You see what I just did right there? If there's only one, it's blank. And then if I put a second one like there, it's blank. But when I put a third, that's when now it's a chord. So now it highlights the rest of the notes that are in that scale, which is D major. Over here, it's going to show you on the notification. If I move it, you can see it changed it to G major. So if I change any of these keys over here, it changes. It's now a D minor. So it's up to you which key you want, but it's always good to have that highlighted so you know exactly which scale you're working in and know, to be able to actually explain what scale you were playing in at the end of the day. So that's a good feature I like about this. It's very helpful. It will guide you and not get lost and spend ages thinking of, what notes fit into that scale you'll be playing on. So let's check it out. Right, this sounds right about fine. Now let me add that there so we can make at least okay, let's make like 4 bars. Super repetitive, nothing special, but you're gonna see how it's gonna come out as soon as I start building chords around this melody. And you can make complex melodies using this technique because everything is highlighted for you, so you can switch up any notes in the melody that you have over here. But for now, let's just keep it at that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this FL key so I can have another. Just move it right down there. And then I'm going to go to another one. Okay, there. Another thing I love is these ghost notes. So these actually guide you in your other sounds so that you don't get lost. You know where your other stuff is playing at. So what I can do is I can put a key here on the root note, and then let's say I put another one there and another one here. Let me lower that, or maybe lower it. Raise that one, raise that one. Put that one there. So what I'm doing is I'm just following my melody and kind of changing the notes I'm going to be playing here on my keys that are going to be a bit more sustained, of which this one I don't want it to be a piano sound. I want it to be a Rhodes. You kind of get the picture right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transpose these down. Let me see if I can transpose them another. There we go. A bit lower. So as you can see, my scale is highlighted over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and make something melodic out of this. like something much more pleasing, I can do that. Let's see. Change that. Can raise that up here. Okay, that sounds bad. Let me move that there. Sounds bad as well. There we go. It's coming along. Now we already have our chords and we did that very easy. So now let's just tweak the sounds a bit. Like, let me load this melody to maybe a reverb and a delay. Then let's add a bit of some drums. Let me look for a kick. Let me add this one, for instance. I'll just fill in 4 steps. There we go. Okay, I'll just add the last one over here. Okay, that's missing. So we got some drums going. Sounds nice. Just fill in 4 steps and I'll move it. This is a great sample pack. You can get this for free. I'll put the link in the description. Make sure you have that in your library. That's my gift to you for being on the channel. Remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the other kits I'm gonna be posting soon. So now we have our melody and we have our chords. So now let's see how far we can go with this. I'm gonna try and make like another melody out of this. I'll add a Gravity S. I'm stepping out of FL Studio stock sounds a bit. I'll just try and add maybe a pad, and this pad can follow. Add another sound. I'll add another Gravity S, and maybe we can look for some plucked sounds. Let's see what this is. No one doesn't like a guitar sound. Let's add a bit of some guitar. Sounds pretty dope. Let's make that second one go up. See what I'm doing here? I'm just following the highlighted notes to make sure I stay in the scale. So this is an actually very important feature and very useful when you're making these tracks, so you don't struggle with knowing what keys to put in and what keys to try, because they're already highlighted there for you. You can still use the black notes if you want to. You don't necessarily have to use the white notes, but you just have to use your ear to hear and know which notes work and which ones don't work. So that's all up to you and what you want to create, and if it sounds right to you. Remember, the best judge of the music is your ears, so use that to your advantage. Let's add a clap. Now another thing about claps is that claps tend to need to be nudged a bit to the left, because they kind of play in a funny way where they're kind of long. So all you just have to do is do this: get inside the piano roll, come here by your snap and quantization and change that to none, and you can select all your claps like in your piano roll. Just select all of them and then just nudge them a little bit slightly to the left. There we go. See that? Sounds much better. Let's add a few more sounds to this. Let me go back in here and look for some brass, and maybe I'll try, let's say a sax sound. Let's see what else we have. Okay, let's switch that back to cell. Okay, it's back on cell. Last one, let's put it down there. Just pan it slightly to the left. Now let's add some bass to this. I don't know what's your favorite bass. You can let me know down in the comments what bass you like or you would think would work better with this track. But I'm gonna try a bass I like that's in here, the square envelope. Oh, sorry, my bad. Okay, here we go. I like this bass. Kind of gives you that nice, authentic deep house feel. A lot of people are scared of bass, but for me it's actually very exciting when I start to add bass, because it kind of glues the whole track together and completes it. And bass is very simple because you're only working with simple notes instead of chords. Chords are actually much more complicated than actually playing bass. So bass must be very easy for you, especially when you're using this technique. Adding bass will be very simple. I'm hearing over here, but I just cannot find it. Okay, that works. Okay, that's kind of risky what I did there at the end. It's kind of risky going all the way up and having to have the melody come back down here. So let me keep that simple. I know that sounds nice, but for the sake of time, let me just bring that back. Much better. Let's add some more ambient stuff to it. Like maybe much more ambient pad. Quantize that. Make sure. Cut that out. Put that right there at the end. Delete that. Put that there. Lower that. Just add a bit more ambience to it. And then we can still add like a string. Let's look for string. Let's add tension. It sounds nice, just add tension to the track. So I go up again. Kind of has a slow attack to it. Yeah, there we go. And this is another tip as well that's useful, because if you can hear it's got a slow attack. It's got a little bit of a delay to it when you press and then when it reacts. So it's usually the attack that will be that'll be very late. So what you can do, you just go on this A. This means attack and this is decay on the D, and the S is sustain, and the R is release. So these are just tools you can use to modify the sound in terms of time, when you want it to stop playing, and how long you want it to decay, and how long you want it to sustain and release as well. So I'll just lower that so that it starts playing instantly without no delays. See if we can slide the swing a bit to kind of humanize the groove, instead of just the groove being the normal groove that we just get when it's just pounding at the same spot all the time. Let's just give it a bit of a groove to it, just ever so slightly, not so much to kind of change the whole thing, because this is a more electronic type of a track with an electronic type of feel, so we don't want it to become too tribal. Let me fill up all of this. So basically that's it. Remember where we started. We started from this little melody, and then put that on. So some melodies don't sound complete and whole when you're making them, then you think they don't work, but they actually do. It's just a matter of knowing how to then move forward from just having that melody. So if you play it on its own, you think that, okay, this melody is not going in, where it's actually a bad melody, but it's not. When you put some chords to it, then it's going to make a lot of sense. So this is a great way to actually start your tracks, instead of just doing it the same way. You know, the way it sounds now, complete with everything in it, it sounds way different than the way it started. So it will actually surprise you. And you can hear it's still the dominant element in the track. So what I'm going to do is that in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can turn this loop, because remember I just made just a loop, just 4 bars of this track, how you can turn this 4 bars into a complete track. So check out the next video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you can keep getting videos like this. You don't miss out on the sound packs that I'm going to be releasing soon. Leave a like if you like the track that I'm making right now. Check out the next video so I can show you how you can turn this into a full song. I'm XD and I'm out. Check you in the next video.